Big win last night, and part of it, a large part of it, I would say, is the Seattle defense showed up in a big, bad way.
Big game, too.
Best performance of their season to date. No question about it. Eye test would tell you that, especially since they started the game with 2 3-and-outs of the Arizona offense, 2 in a row. The Arizona offense that came in with all that momentum, the Hail Murray, as we all know, so on and so forth. But the metrics don't lie either. In that overtime victory for Arizona in Week 7, last time these two teams met, not a single hit laid on Kyler Murray. Not a single quarterback hit of Kyler Murray in that game. How about that? Played damn near 5 quarters. Not a single hit on Kyler Murray. Last night, 3 sacks, 7 quarterback hits.
Oof. He got beat up.
Big difference, including the final sack of the night on a 3-man rush. Think about that. 4th and 10. They clean it up, lock it up with a sack on a 3-man rush, and the guy who provides the sack is Carlos Dunlap, who, as we all know, was acquired by Seattle just a couple of weeks ago after he earned his exit visas from Cincinnati.
Yes, he did.
Instagramming out information on grease boards that should not be made public. Hey, look, man, this is what the Seahawks do. This is what they do. They find players for their system, whether it's in the draft that people don't draft in the top 4 rounds, 5 rounds, or it's somebody like Carlos Dunlap. John Schneider is connected to Pete Carroll, is connected to John Schneider, who's connected to Russell Wilson, who's connected to this team on the field. And Jamal Adams is a big difference maker. He is one of the top pass rushers in the league, and he's a safety. That's what makes him so damn valuable. He's just a wild card. Put him in the box. He's not one of those guys that's going to patrol the secondary like your typical, if you will, thumping safety in the back, come up with some picks, lay the wood. He can do that. But what he does better than anybody else from that safety position is go ahead and hit the quarterback, and you don't know where he's coming from, and he'll freelance. And it's the sort of stuff that apparently drove the Jets so crazy that they had to get him out. Wouldn't sign him long term. So Jamal Adams is going to join us on this show. Arizona made too many damn mistakes last night. They were false starting like the building was full of 12s. They also last night Dre Kirkpatrick last night. I mean, throwing a punch or slapping around just when the Cardinals were getting the Seahawks off the field. It looked like DK Metcalf was throwing a punch and might get the gate, and then they come out and they say it's on Arizona. 15-yard penalty, first down, and Seattle took advantage of that. Great night for Fitz. Larry Fitzgerald with 8 catches, 62 yards, and he was definitely fouled, I think, on that dangerous throw. I think it was 2nd and 10.
You think so?
Diggs arrived early, bro.
I don't know.
Diggs arrived early, but it was also a throw into traffic. And when you're thrown into traffic, it's kind of like one of those flags or one of those whistles you don't get in basketball when you're kind of driving into traffic and you're expecting contact. Yeah. Or if you're an official, the contact happens and it's just part and parcel.
I thought Diggs kind of had position in front of Larry Fitzgerald. If they were going to throw a flag, I thought it would be on Bobby Wagner.
I thought he got hit late. I mean, I thought he got hit early. Yeah. I thought he got hit early, but everyone was going for the ball. I get it, but he arrived early. Lockett made a beautiful, beautiful move on Patrick Peterson for the 2nd touchdown. DK Metcalf on a fire drill score to get everything started. Russell was doing Russ things. And Carlos Hyde, that'll also show you too. Big difference as well. Last couple weeks, no Hyde, no Carson. A lot of DJ Dallas.
Yep. And Bo Scarborough got into it last night.
He did, and then he got hurt. And also I want to send my best to one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites, and he's going to have a lush career in this business when he does hang him up, and I hope this was not the end of his career last night. But Greg Olsen has a significant foot injury, and he does hope to come back this season.
Yeah, Pete Carroll said it was a ruptured plantar fascia.
And so he does hope to come back this season, that it is something that might be able to heal in time if they do make a nice long run into January. But that's a win the Seahawks needed to have. Should have understood that Pete Carroll hasn't lost 3 games since 2011 for a reason. Russell Wilson's never lost 3 games in a row. That's what I meant, in a row.
Yep.
Last time the Seahawks, they had a 2-game losing streak going into last night. The loss against Buffalo and then the Rams. That last time they'd lost 3-0, we looked that up. It was Charlie Whitehurst.
Oh, clipboard Jesus.
Losing 1 in week 7, and then weeks 8 and 9 were lost consecutively by Tavares Jackson way back in the 2011 season when Russ was getting things done for Wisconsin. So I should have seen that one coming. And the fact that Jamal Adams is getting back in there significantly. And Carlos Hyde, again, was a difference maker. Do not forget that Carlos Hyde was a 1,000-yard rusher for the Houston Texans last year. That was significant. Scored a touchdown last night on the ground, providing the necessary pressure removed from Russ. He didn't have to do all the cooking. Their offensive line performed well. Center last night never played center before. Got caught.
It showed in the beginning.
I know. Got caught a couple times for holding. There were also last night the safety that Arizona got called for. Can you review whether a hold is technically is it like getting out of the end zone where all you need to do is just cross the goal line and you're not technically in the end zone for a safety?
The rule is if the hold starts outside the end zone and continues into the end zone, that it's not.
It started outside the end zone.
Right. So that technically shouldn't have been a safety.
I got on Cliff Kingsbury on Twitter for
a weird challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't weird in retrospect. I should have recognized that Hyde did jump on top of the football. And the clock would have been running, and Arizona most likely would have called a timeout anyway. You might as well use one of your 2 remaining challenges with just 30 seconds left in the challenge period of the game. And if you're going to use a timeout and lose a timeout anyway, you might as well just get your double your money's worth and get a challenge out of it too. Roll the dice, pull the arm on the one-arm bandit and see if it comes up jackpot for you. It didn't. And Arizona, again, just too many mistakes, man. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.